have a cool shirt on today or a cool backdrop.
Stop
But
it.
Nug life.
I'll take
That's
none
right.
of I'll take none of your Denver Nuggets. Then. I permanently place that on my upper left thigh.
Awesome. And we got so Adam Peak, your podcast is People of Packaging.
That's right. That's right.
Nice.
Emilio. It sure is.
Finally, I got it right. Finally got it right.
Sure.
So
How many episodes of this have we done?
I don't know, like 1,000. Feels like
It's-
1,000.
It's probably about 1,000.
Yeah.
Definitely 1,000 at least.
Yeah. These are, I always point the wrong way. Right here.
Boom.
You can find these. That's right.
Right
That's
there.
right, Corey.
And,
right.
and right there.
Yeah. So these are the podcasts that you want to find on your Apple, on your YouTube, on your Spotify. Do us a favor, check them out, and give us a good rating. Give us a 5, dude. You look like you're right in there.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. So we got a bunch of stuff on packaging. We got a comment already. Who's in here? We got Brandon Gomes.
What's up, Brandon?
What's up, man? Thanks
hey, Brandon.
so much.
Happy 4th of July to everybody up in Canada.
Yay. Take off.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, definitely appreciate you joining us. This was kind of like a last minute. We weren't sure if we were going to take a holiday today, but why take a holiday when we can just talk about packaging, right? Like what?
Hey, speaking of which, in case you care to know, the Denver Nuggets signed a holiday to a 1-year contract. Justin Holiday signed.
Oh.
So it's a great holiday in Denver.
You're not even from Colorado. You're from Utah. Don't you guys have a team there?
Not true.
Don't you guys have a team there?
Oh man,
Utah Elders or something.
No, it's the Jazz because everyone knows that Utah is infamous for their history of jazz music.
That's right.
That's actually a neat story, though. I like how they used to keep the mascot. That's cool.
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Isn't it because they moved from New Orleans or something like that?
Well, yeah, just like the Los Angeles Lakers moved from Minneapolis and the Memphis Grizzlies moved from Vancouver.
I thought it was because of all the lakes.
Yeah, so many lakes.
California's a land of lakes.
Los Angeles Lake is beautiful.
It's like the butter, right? Isn't that butter made in California? That Land O'Lakes.
Yes, I've thought to myself they could just change them. Like you could have the Los Angeles Jazz and the Utah Lakers because Salt Lake City, the Utah Lakers.
This is too much sports for me, man.
Yeah.
No. This is great. How do we package up sports teams with their nicknames is very critical to branding and marketing. So just designing.
Just add in a few words like corrugated, chipboard, stuff like that. We'll add it in, and people think we're talking about packaging.
Yeah,
totally. All right, man.
Is it just? Do we only have Brandons who are watching today? Today's like
right. It's
limited to comments only by Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Shoot. That's definitely not something that's supposed to be.
That's right.
But
all right.
Happy Canada Day.
That's right. All right. So, did I get some stuff? Oh no, we got a triet. All right, can I focus on design packaging for beginners? I already know the fundamentals about flyers, poster reading boards, not logo. All right, so we're going to talk about some stuff, about some packaging stuff. I'm going to share some stuff here. Done zero research. This is not going to be like Reddit last week, where all of a sudden it got a little feisty.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But you have some good stuff. Right, so edible packaging. I think we kind of posted about this last week. So the university over in HK, they created some type of new protein to build into packaging to make it edible. Let me hide that. So, and hide that. A lot of ads. So, I think everybody's looking at edible packaging. Like, there's so much plastic happening out there. There's an ad, lots of ads, and somebody's abs. But
we can talk about edible packaging.
Perfect. Without me showing, I want to see what else they had in here.
Yeah. So we already have edible packaging. Corrugated fiberboard is edible packaging. Starch shipping peanuts is edible packaging. Folding carton paperboard is edible. You have fruit like the rind of a watermelon is edible packaging, right? Like all of that stuff is edible.
Yep.
It's just not desirable. Like I'm not going to eat plastic.
Right.
There's no world in which, unless it tastes amazing and
you're gonna eat it,
desirable,
like an ice cream cone. That's edible packaging. I can get behind.
Great example, right? An ice cream cone is delicious, edible packaging. The ice cream cup is also edible,
not
desirable. And it's just like with recycling. Is it recyclable? Yes. Is it desirable? No.
Right.
So is it
going
to be
add value?
Is it going to be recycled? If it's not desirable, then the answer is no. I'm not saying stop pushing for it. I'm just saying like, let's not.
You make a great point, right? So like bananas, watermelon, like these items already come with something that's actually edible, and there is some nutritional value to those. It is completely natural, but you don't eat those. Right. So why on earth are you going to eat some plastic replacement that is technically edible? Just like you're not going to eat corrugate, right? You can eat it and you can process it, you can digest it, but why, right? And one of the Brandon J, is asking, if it's sanitary, and that's a good
if we wrap it in plastic,
right? That's right. Non-edible plastic.
No.
Yeah.
That was like one of the points I tried to make last time we discussed this, was like, if you put something in edible packaging and it's available for people to just grab and touch and just have it exposed, like it's pretty disgusting. Mm-hmm. I think like Not PLA, like those guys did, the edible drinks, like it was like a Gatorade type of a product that was in an edible pack. But then everybody that was handing these out had to use gloves to keep it sanitary to hand these off during a race. But then it's like, it was cool, and it was fun gimmick, but in terms of like actual deployment and usage, it's kind of weird.
Were the gloves edible too?
Right.
Yeah.
The people were edible.
Where does this end?
They taste like Cheetos. You just lick your hands and then they are gone.
Yeah, and then you just grab somebody else's drink and hand it to them. Super, super sanitary. But Gene's asking, maybe a new name for edible packaging. What would you? Consumable?
Yeah.
Because like consumable kind of accounts for like a lot of single-use stuff, right? It's like you're selling packaging. Oh, yeah, that's a consumable.
What about pre-fecal matter packaging?
That sounds tasty.
Packaging really that turns into poop.
Pre-fecal.
Pre-poop packaging.
I'm out of here, guys. It's over.
It's over.
Sorry.
That's too much.
I don't know. I had something else to show here, but there's like ads for all sorts of stuff on here. Of course, this one does come from our friends at Reddit. So people are really upset about this. And when I say people are really upset about this, I don't know. It's like one person that's upset about this.
On Reddit? That's weird.
Right. People upset on.
Oh, Gene for the win. Poopable packaging. Thank you, Gene. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Gene.
That's better. Yeah. Thanks, Gene.
So people were upset about Little Mermaid movie for a variety of different stupid reasons, but people are upset about this packaging for Little Mermaid McDonald's product. The reason they're pissed is you get one apple slice in this bag that's in your Happy Meal. Single-use plastic. This is 100% single-use plastic. I don't know, but how many kids are going to actually eat apple slices at McDonald's? That's part never made sense to me.
There's plenty of parents who are like, "We're gonna get the Happy Meal with the apple slices, right, Tommy?" Right. Okay. Right. Can I just get the French fries? We said apple slices, and then the parents are probably like, "I got a
big bag,
a slice. I got a slice. I asked for plural." I got a single. Now, is somebody mad about it because that's normative, or is it somebody mad about it because they got the one error from the apple slice company that happened to just put one in there, and they're just like, "This is an outrage," and then they're like, "I'm going to Reddit."
That's right. Yeah, you never know. But then it's like how much? But it's even like if you think about like Halloween. Like I know my kids got like the little snack packets of like different things in there. We, they get them. There's like 3 M&Ms in there, or there's like, it's like at some point stuff isn't snackable anymore, especially now when people are downsizing product because they can no longer downsize packaging to try to convince consumers out there getting the same amount for the same value, even though it's like it used to be 10 ounce and now it's 8 ounce. It's like there's that type of downsizing that's happening as well. It's like, well, I mean, it could be that. I don't know one way or another. I don't eat Happy Meals, so
fun size.
Yeah.
Are we abolishing fun size candy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full size.
What do you got to go?
Be that house that hands out the full size.
Full size candy is the future of sustainable packaging. That's how we do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe you guys hate fun.
Down with fun.
We're gonna have fun full size candy.
That's okay. Right.
We'll just change the name. Just say fun size.
Just more fun.
Shareable fun size.
Extra fun. Poopable.
That's right. Poopable fun.
That would be actually, if you think about a place where having like flavorful edible packaging, like can you imagine a Snickers wrapper that tastes exactly like a Snickers and you just like grabbed it and just all right, I'm just wash it off, and then
if you've got siblings, dude, if you've got siblings, if you're like the older sibling, you're like, oh, you can have the wrapper, and you just eat the chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Because I know my kids, my older one would be like, yeah, here's the wrapper. Exactly. My little one would be like, oh, thanks.
Here's some compostable packaging.
Have you tried to compost that stuff yet?
I haven't tried to eat it. It's not edible. It's made from wood, which is incredible. Wood fibers, home compostable along with the orange peels. Nice. Talk about more environmentally friendly. I think that's an awesome system.
And who makes that?
Jack Vandenberg, and it's used by a company called
Vandelay
Sunrays. It's my latest podcast. Check him out. John Pop. He's awesome. U.S. Plastics Pact winner.
Yep.
And really, really a cool product and a cool idea. I believe this kind of thing will be the future of fresh fruit packaging because it works on the same machine. It does the same job.
Yeah.
But the end result is you can toss it in with the orange peels.
Is there an economic difference? I'm gonna venture a guess.
He said that it was the same cost.
Oh, well,
and
it's an
to me, there's just no more excuses.
Yeah,
we need to move forward on things like that. That's things that you can't fight against. There's nothing that is negative there. Unless you need something that's going to hold your fresh fruit for months at a time. It doesn't make sense. This is going to work. It's a good idea.
Love it.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Definitely want to get my hands on some of that and throw it in the yard and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to do a test.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I had this come up. I was meeting with a couple of MBA students, and they asked me about bioplastics, and I had never had this thought before, but why is petroleum not considered a bioplastic when it literally comes from the ground? Like how why is like a wood-based plastic or a corn-based plastic? I'm sure there's an answer for it. I'm not asking it like, gotcha. I was like,
it's a fossil fuel.
Yeah, like it comes from the earth. We extract it from the earth and then we turn it into plastic. Am I missing something in that the term bioplastics is probably pretty, I don't want to say it's greenwashing, but it's very selective into what it says as bioplastic. Maybe we need like a Jay Quinn package to come on and answer this for us.
Yeah, come answer this for us.
I don't know why it's not classified, or if someone's in the comments and can answer that. I don't know why it's not considered a bioplastic. I had no reason other than people don't like it.
That's a great question, right? It's like, why? So could you legally put bioplastic on just a standard plastic on an LDPE bag, right?
Yeah.
Or any other type of product. Like, what would stop you from doing that?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a future conversation, but I'm sure there's something in the FTC green guides that says something that
Right.
you're not allowed to put it on there. But my question would be, but what is different about the process other than the end of life is one has the potential to be recycled, except when you put Bluetooth trackers in it and then try to send it to a recycling facility.
Then
But
it won't get recycled then. Yeah.
No.
yeah, but that stuff never even made it near a separation center.
Right. So what ends up happening now? Sometimes they're just bad actors in the process. Like we should think about those bins like we do our own recycle bins. So people put crap. If you ever go look at those bins, they have to have massive signs on them that say, "Do not put any trash in here." And I asked one of the workers, and if they pick it up and they see food or garbage or something like that in there, they just throw it in there in the dump.
Right.
All right. So for anybody that's watching, what are you talking about, Adam?
I'm talking about a story that came out a few months ago, and then Avelio decided to bring it back into my life on LinkedIn by ABC News, which was a story about how Recycle Ready LLDPE films is not working, and Target and was it Walmart?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah.
They both got taken off the list. They can't have the bins there until they fix it. And my point was, when I first watched, I was like, oh, great. Yep, they're probably right. And then I thought, wait a second, they're putting electronics in, and they're saying that it never made it to where it's supposed to be. And I said, yes, that's actually exactly what is supposed to happen. When that whole bin, because it's such a refined process, that whole bin has to be LLDPE recycle ready. There shouldn't be food in there. There shouldn't be other trash. There shouldn't be anything in there. Just
but we're not talking about like an R2D2 sized tracker, right? We're talking about like an Apple tracker that they glued in, and then they
I understand that.
in like
I understand
a
that.
bundle of bags.
You probably can't see that if you're just the worker, right?
Yeah.
But you can see when people throw their aluminum cans in there and their other garbage and their other trash in there, because by and large, recycling does not work, not because of the capabilities to recycle things, and in this case, the market for it. There's a big market for this stuff. It's because the inputs suck. People are terrible about recycling. They just look at any recycle bin. It says only metal cans, and what's in there? Paper and plastic. You look in these things, what's in it? It's not just trackers. It's food, it's garbage, it's gum. And when they see that, they're told by the collection people to throw it in the dump because they don't know what else is in there. It costs way too, they can't really sort it that well. It's meant to be a really simple stream to go from that to the collection place and then go through with it. That's what it's supposed to do. So to say that it's not working is probably in one sense true, but to say it's not working because the plastics industry or because that's not true. It's not working because people are terrible about recycling, that we cannot read basic signs, and people's general idea is, well, it's not my job. I just throw it out there and it's for them to figure out. That's the problem with it all. So it's not a very good study. That's my point, is that it's bad journalism because
it's gotcha, right?
It's just gotcha clickbait journalism that we all fell for. We've talked about it now. I put it on LinkedIn. I put it on TikTok. You put it on LinkedIn. Like, we've all fallen for the story. But at the end of it all, when you really think about it, it's just really crappy journalism by ABC News. I was actually more frustrated about that. Like, I already know that there's probably a less than 20% recycle rate on those bags.
Yeah. And this section's been brought to you by Plastic is Better Than People.
Yes.
But let's move on.
This has been presented by Big Plastics. Big Plastics wants you to know that plastics are great. Feed them to fish. Big Plastics. No, that's not.
Where's Chris?
Nobody pays us money to say this stuff. I just say this all the time. Like, I'm only interested in what is true and good. I really do want that. So
no, and Vincent's right. So recycling begins with sorting, right? And if we're the ones that are doing the sorting in the U.S., we got to do better sorting. But I
By the
think
way,
we
on
can
that
always do better.
topic, we've had Bo Peck on, and so I got to go tour Bo Peck's facility here in Utah,
Mhm.
and he told me they don't take anything from
Anybody.
residential.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's
They don't
great.
take anything from
recycling.
anybody.
They don't actually recycle anything. It's just a facade. It's all just AI robots milling around, with
100% success
taking
rate.
money from the
Yeah.
government.
No, yeah, they don't like you have to physically drive your product to Bo's places.
Or, well, not necessarily. So residential recycling,
Mhm.
he's like, it's all garbage.
Yep.
We don't take any of it because people are dumb. But he said there are rural communities that
Mhm.
have recycling centers that people don't traditionally associate with like good recycling practices, like in the middle of Idaho and Wyoming and rural Utah, where it's like a community gathering. It's almost like a source of community pride. He's like,
Hmm.
we love picking up from them because it's all typically very well sorted. They all bring it there on a Saturday. People are hanging out. They're
Mhm.
sorting their stuff. It's a place to gather. He said
Mhm.
that stuff is great. And then it's also from companies. So they collect industrial
Yep.
recycling. He said that stuff's pretty good, but he said residential recycling is almost worthless because there's such a there's not like it's the same people who complain about recycling, like recycling doesn't work, and they're the ones who are chucking everything into the recycle bin. They don't even care. It's like it doesn't work because of you,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we don't have a way to fix you until they implant the Neuralink in your brain.
Yeah. I would say I don't know, like one thing Bo mentioned, like it's also a matter of like supply and demand. So, he's had tons, like literally tons of perfect, pristine plastic trays that could have been recycled, but there's just no market for it. And he's like, I'm also not a warehouse, right? And that's the other thing too, is like
Right.
these locations aren't warehouses. They can't store product indefinitely until there is a market. And he's like, I've had the landfill, 40 tons of plastic trays that normally would have market, but he's like, if I don't have a market for it, they got to go because I can't store them.
There must be value, right?
Yeah. If nobody wants it, what are you going to do?
That was something that was brought up at Circularity, was the fluctuation of price, the price index.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies was like, you try running a business where the price of the product you sell can fluctuate like plus or minus 80% depending on the month. Like, how do you invest in that business? How do you invest in, okay, we're going to do more polypropylene recycling when you don't know in 6 months what the price of PCR polypropylene is going to be. So I thought that was, I was like, I've actually never thought about that. So I have, I get Plastics News, and which oddly enough is printed on paper, and I open it up and I read it and I look at the price indexes and I'm like, man, they are absolutely right. Not that I doubted them, but the price of the stuff is all over the place. And so not only does there have to be an end market, but there should be a predictable end market, and it's just not there right now. So it's tough.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think last thing before we go, we need, like Vincent says, we need demand for recycled plastic resins. And we need a demand for everything, right? Whatever it is that we're putting in here, like we need to be able to have a waste stream in place.
Good tasting poopable packaging.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
That's right. Hey, I wanted to just kind of talk about this. Like I joined this thing as soon as it came out. It's plasticfree.com. It's $300. It's so I joined this so you guys can check it out. You guys don't have to join it if you don't want to. But I'm still trying to figure out like a benefit here. But it does kind of just talk about like different materials that are sustainable, things that we've already talked about here. It's supposed to be a tool. I still haven't figured out like, how. It just kind of walks through like different materials, the latest materials, like, wool. We've got Sway. So you can look at some different products and it kind of gives you like all the rundown of product that could be potentially in here. It's pretty interesting, but like you're supposed to be able to, if you're, you can go in here and see who's manufacturing different products, different things. You can also, find inspiration. So like different products that are using, this is pea vodka. And then, right, like you can see
Is
what
it PCRP or
no, it's PP. And right, so you can see like what is being used in this packaging and kind of run down the list of it. It's pretty cool. There's some stuff in here that's kind of fun, but definitely check it out if you've used it. I'd love to hear kind of how you're using it. If you haven't used it, you got any questions, like shoot them over via LinkedIn, like what your thoughts are on something like this. But I'm still. Let's
Who started it? Was it like a designer or?
This is Andrew Gibbs over at the Die Line.
Oh yeah.
So he's put this together, and so like you can come in here and look at stuff. Now that I'm logged in, you can see all the information. It tells you everything about the product. It's supposed to be plastic free, and the challenge is that the Die Line showcases a ton of plastic packaging, right? So it's hard. I think it's kind of, we've had this conversation too. Like I want to be able to say, hey, I think this packaging is really cool, but it's plastic, right? And then you're going to get the blowback from people that are like, oh, you can't, that's single use plastic. It's like, yeah, but I can still appreciate it, right? I can still appreciate what it is from a design perspective or from a manufacturing perspective. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. Definitely something worth checking out. I think there's like, you can kind of skim over it without a membership. But
this segment was brought to you by plasticfree.com.
That's right. No, but it's pretty cool.
Use code packaging box podcast Avelio Matos Columbia 2027.
Yeah. No, I mean,
hashtag.
I don't know. I mean, I worked with those guys for a long time. It's a great team over there at the Die Line. But they came out with this a while ago. I know Plastic Free started, I don't know, like 10 years ago. And now they're kind of growing, but I'm still not 100% sure like how I would use this service for the price that I'm paying any differently than I would Googling this stuff, right? Or just watching the Packaging Today show, because like we talk about all these materials.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is like free information that's out there already.
Hey, is it still considered single-use plastic? Like I ordered some delicious Indian food the other day, and I got it in a plastic. I got my lamb tikka masala in like a plastic, to-go container.
Yeah.
And I realized like I used it, and then I reused that same one. And I put it in the fridge. I'm going to take it back out, and I'm going to use it a second time. And
then what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to clean it out, and I'm going to put it in my recycle bin and cross my fingers that it makes.
Yeah. That'll be second use plastic.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I've used
double
it
use
2 or 3 times.
New trend.
That's
or
right.
theoretically, I could clean it out, put it in
reuse
put it in my dishwasher, reuse it one more time, and then recycle it. And I'd be like, nope, it was double use.
Yeah, I've got a plastic straw that I think at this point is like over 1,500 uses.
Yeah.
And that was ever since I had Krista Armit on my podcast. I don't know how many years ago, and that was like, he's like, straws are only single use because you throw them away. It's like there's nothing that says you can't reuse that straw over and over again. And I was like, I never thought about that,
And you have turtles in your house, like
that's right. I just shove it right in their noses. I'm like, take that.
Stop it.
Turtles only put straws in their nose because they do coke. Everybody knows that.
Oh, is that it? That's how they became Teenage Mutant Ninjas.
That's it.
100%.
Wow.
All right. This show's getting super derailed over stupid
Sorry, kids.
stuff.
I think it's derailed. It's acceptable.
Yeah. No, I mean everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. Okay, good.
That's right.
Well, have a wonderful 4th of July, everyone.
Well, the 3rd of July. You can have a great 3rd of July. This is international. So
That's right. That's right. I got 10 fingers. We'll see next week if I still got 10 fingers.
Yeah.
All right. Keep your fingers this 4th of July, please.
Yes.
Or if you don't, just package them in single-use plastic.
That's
I think I'm going to have somebody on from the UK this week on my podcast, just because,
to rub it in.
Yeah, just hey, you lost, America.
America.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Any questions you have about all the BS we talked about today, throw it in the comments. Do us a favor. Find us on the podcast apps, Unboxed, Sustainable Packaging, People of Packaging. And give us a review. Check us out. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Matos.